Hello everybody, it's Bubba Rob. How's it going? It's Tuesday morning. I'm not sure when I'll put the video out, but it's Tuesday morning, and I thought, oh, it's time to make another video because there's so much stuff going on. Unbelievable. There's a couple things I want to talk about. One is Dannielle Smith finally emerging, and an interview I saw, I forget where it was. It was something to do with the CBC, I believe, with Kevin O'Leary, and the news that came out this morning about Trump and the tariffs. Okie dokie. I'm just going off the top of my head. Just free balling all this crap, all from my memory. But anyways, I gotta say, the few interviews I saw with Dannielle Smith after she finally emerged, I was really quite impressed with how she had her facts, the way she talked, the calmness, just really the ability to communicate. I know I'm not fond of her not going to the ministers' meeting there, and by her not going, what it implies, but she definitely gave an explanation for it. If you want, you go find those interviews. They're easy to find. I'm not here to speak for her, but she's got a lot of reasons, and it's kind of what I talked about the other day about what's happened to the pipelines going east and west, and there's issues interprovincial as far as trade goes. It's a lot more complicated than we understand. She hasn't had the best support from like Quebec, for example, or British Columbia in doing those pipelines and what other provinces want, right? So that's a bit of a killer, but I still believe a lot of those things are impacted more from investment and control from people that are far above her. But that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what I believe, and I believe if you think any different, you gotta have fucking rocks in your head. We only see in life what they want us to see. And that's not being a conspiracy type person. That's just the truth, right? I learned a long time ago. Oh, I was going through this employees assistance program because of a critical incident, and the psychologist I was talking to, we got into a discussion about business and social scientists and control. This would be back in '99, about how you notice, like in a big city or even smaller ones, you'll have like McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Wendy's. They're all situated in the same area because the thought process isn't about the negativity competition. The thought process is about bringing the masses together in one spot so they'll at least pick one of the four, right? So actually quite smart. It's about control of people and their eating habits. So if you don't think big companies or our governments don't invest in some extremely intelligent people to make decisions on how to deal with things or how to control us, you're sadly mistaken. To actually, excuse me there, to actually think, Donald Trump, as an example, does everything what he says completely on a whim. I would think everything's extremely calculated. and he's got a supporting cast that instructs him on how they want to do things with using his line of thinking as the template. That's true. I mean, but anyway, that's got nothing to, well, it doesn't really have anything to do with Dannielle Smith, but I'm trying to explain something here. And then, when she was talking, and I gotta say, I think she's pretty honest, because in those interviews, she actually talked about how the tariffs are coming. So she knew they were coming. She knew. She was told. She knew. It wasn't, like they're not here yet. Maybe they might not, but, supposedly in the news today and what I saw, that Donald was signing those executive orders that they're supposed to be coming February 1st. And he sounded very adamant about the 25%. Like that man's got a bit of a mean streak to him. But anyways, that's whatever. So she's trying to protect her province. She's very honest. I hope she shows a bit more support for Team Canada now, though, after that announcement. Now, getting to the Kevin O'Leary interview, again, he's extremely smart. I mean, very well versed. He has his facts down. I would imagine he's got an extremely hardworking and supporting cast to keep him up to date in the information he needs to do business. Just the way it is. And I believe the other day I watched him and he said that he didn't believe the tariffs won't be coming. I kind of thought that way myself, but I don't know. My mind's starting to change. I just can't see after what I saw today. Again, those actions and the behavior says it all. It didn't seem very whimsical to me how it was announced. So, on Mr. O'Leary, he's a venture capitalist. They want to put that AI development center or whatever it is in Alberta. That's $70 billion. I mean, that would help out tremendously. But I'm just wondering, if those tariffs come in, that's probably going to screw that whole thing. Can you imagine a $70 billion development and you're adding 25%? Not to say the whole price would go up 25%. Just think about it. Think about the ramifications of that for him. I don't know. I just have a hard time believing that something like that, if it's coming in, that thing's going to get built in Canada. I don't know. It just kind of doesn't make any sense to me. Right? Just, I don't get it. But, I hope we got to put things in perspective. It hasn't come yet. I don't want people to worry. I'm not here to put worry out or anything. I want people to, think for themselves and think clearly and not with emotion, because, if you're thinking as far as an idealist goes or working on your emotions, that is a tremendous amount of stress, and, it's not something you need right now. But mind you, we do need to prepare for things. Yeah, and when I worked down in the States years ago and doing the whole carnivore thing, I was on lots of different interviews and stuff and podcasts, and through my working career, and living here, which is a tourist hub, and doing that. I've met lots of really super good people out of the States. And I find it hard to believe that there's really that many down there. Believe it's okay to be that big of an asshole. Most of the people I met are awfully kind. I think maybe a little bit due to their educational system and their news system and what gets reconstituted to them. I think they're somewhat, I don't know if ignorant is the right word, but they say they know Canadians, but they really don't. I think we know them, or a lot more about them than actually they do. No, maybe that's why it's perceived that we're more compassionate, right? I don't know. It's just, like I said before, I believe Gary Bettman destroyed hockey. But I hope we come out of this and common sense prevails. I just believe it's is not a good time. It's going to be a tough time. Oh yeah, the one thing I didn't really like is I really didn't like what Kevin O'Leary was projecting. In about 8 months they're going to try and go for like a common currency, or like a common passport for free trade and living in a flat tax between countries. I don't know. I know they got it over in Europe, but I think that's a completely different kettle of fish than here. I can see the benefits. I can see the negative points of it, but I also see if they have that much more control over the information of ourselves, they're going to be very selective on who they permit that open access to. We're not all going to be created equal, right? Who knows? Maybe they'll look at Bubba Rob's channel and say, oh, he thinks Donald Trump is a dickhead. Oh, maybe I can't cross the border. I don't know. Maybe. And if that's the case, I don't really need to go down. Yeah. And my one last point is, I really want Canadians, whether you're in the States or in Canada, that really thought Donald Trump was a good person for us. Think again. Think about what you put out there. You drank somebody else's Kool-Aid, right? That's a big reach around, if you know what I mean. Really give your head a shake. Where were you born? Who's your brothers and sisters? That's not against the American people. That's against the Donald. Anyways, yeah. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll let everybody go now. I love you all. Whether you like me, love me, hate me, whatever. I'm just giving my opinion, and I don't want people to get worried. I just want them to think for themselves and think clearly. Remember, the most important thing in life is to be kind, to be a good person. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, whether you have belief or not. Okay? Love you all. You have a great day. Remember, we'll face whatever's going to come together, and whatever will happen will. Don't worry about it. Bye-bye.